Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Charles Payne. This is Making Money. You just heard it, right? President Trump talking about Jay Powell, because yesterday the market was hit with a sort of two realities that all added up to just a single wake-up call. What's interesting is that these aren't new, right? The tariffs, of course, will hit the bottom line of corporations because, well, the best case scenario is passing on just even a fraction of the price. They're going to have to eat a lot of it. And then in this Federal Reserve itself, it will not come to the rescue, at least not anytime soon. In fact, speaking in Chicago, Jay Powell made it clear yesterday in an homage to Ferris Bueller that you can see here, just sort of saying, hey, listen, things take long. It's going to be rough. The Fed has an obligation to its long-term inflation expectations to keep those well anchored. He did talk a little bit about the tensions between a dual mandate, though, right? Because there is tension, and it really hasn't happened like this in a long time. But the most interesting part about all of this is that the longer Powell spoke, the more the stock market tumbled, right? It went from a snowball into a boulder. And it reminded me of that time, the TV classic, The Honeymooners, where Ralph's mother-in-law came to visit. She rubbed it in that he was fat, but that wasn't the worst thing. She spilled the beans on a play that he had tickets to go see. Check it out.
The paper said it's a very exciting mystery.
Oh, the papers, that's just a lot of publicity. All that to do about chills and suspense. And that nonsense about don't tell your friends the surprise ending. Well, it was no surprise to Mrs. Finley. She said she knew all the time that it wasn't the uncle who committed the murder. It was the husband.
You are a blabbermouth!
All right, so something that Powell deliberately criticized Trump's tariff approach, while others are saying, listen, he probably had to offset comments from Fed Governor Waller, who did rekindle hopes of a Fed put. That might be true, but let's not forget that this same movie had that famous scene in it about the perils of Hawley Smoot, right? Remember that? Either way, investors were so relieved that when Powell finished speaking, the market staged a really impressive rally. In the last 30 minutes of trading, the stock market went straight up. Also, what was pretty interesting about this session, you can see right there, it's really amazing. What was also interesting about this session, to me at least, bond yields were lower. The rate cuts, the Chicago Fed rate cut actually inched a little bit higher. I think we're looking now at 4 rate cuts. And this morning, President Trump, of course, well, he probably saw what happened, and he took aim at too late Powell, saying termination cannot come fast enough. All right, so Powell was right, folks. Life does come at you really fast. Now, here's the thing. My first guess has a bold prediction that for the year that there will be no recession call. However, I want to begin with that feud between Powell and Trump.